shared housing, I reunified them with their parents by airplane or bus, or I put them in rehab. And Carl Lambert paid for 90% of that for all of them. Anytime I needed to put a kid anywhere, I could call him at 3 o'clock in the morning. He was always there for them. He's one of the best guys I know, and I know he has Venice's best interest at heart, and he's one of the best guys I know. Thank you.
Kelly J.
So I'm not going to try to appeal to anyone's moral compass, but I had a chance to review the staff report, and as a consultant, I would say that there's plenty of holes in it, and it's not necessarily, there's not enough facts or statistics that actually would indicate the impact of allowing this to happen. And I think that's something that should be considered. This is not just about him, this is about the entire community and the other building owners just like them that are just waiting to ride on the coattails of a positive decision in his favor. So I would urge you guys to do a little bit more research and add some statistics in here, because there's tons of holes in it. I'd be happy to talk offline about this. It's not, it means nothing. There's no value proposition for allowing this to happen. There's no, it's not assessed correctly. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Are you ready?
I'm just going to add on to what Judy said, which is to speak to character. And the best analogy I can give are the Koch brothers, who sort of donate to the arts, cancer, sit on many charitable boards, and yet poison communities with their toxic chemicals, all while giving money in the name of research. And I think we have a really similar situation here, in that it's the optics of the applicant, Mr. Lambert. Of course he can give all this money while he's bleeding Venice dry like a babe, and forgetting that we are communities. And then to finally speak to some of the staff report of what was going on in the 1920s, well, this is an evolving city. The history of Venice was not a community. The history of it was a place where people came to take beach vacations. It evolved into a community. We need to respect that community. We need to learn to live together and not just see it as a cash cow. And I hope people remember that and really take a long, deep, hard look at this project.
Edward, right?
Close it up.
Sorry.
Judy.
I've lived here for 45 years. My first job was, while I was a student, was managing his apartment building. It wasn't a hotel. I had tenants in '73 who remembered it as a hotel, not as a hotel, but as a place to live, who were tenants all the way back to World War II. Carl is going to give us 2 apartments out of 31, and we're supposed to applaud? I don't think so. The gentleman who said he likes hotels, he was not living in one. This is what happens for people who have to share residence with hotel guests. The little sycophant Tim over there, who said how great Carl is, he's the non-resident manager of the building where I live, which is right next door to this place, and he refers to it as a hotel. It's already like this fait accompli. They're moving people out. It's like a slow python strangling low-income housing, and that was what Venice was known for across the color line. It was the one place people of color could actually buy these properties. So, what we're seeing is the destruction of a community. It's a disease. Except rich people have the disease, but we're the poor people who suffer all the symptoms. So I am opposed.
George, yeah.
idea, kind of blindly so.
What?
Yeah, cool.
You all listen to
Again, like I
yourself.
said,
Listen to
blindly.
Guys, one at a time, please. Please,
It's okay,
just let
I
the guys
get it.
speak.
No, I get it. There's like, it's changed.
No, you don't get it.
No, you don't.
You know better. Debbie, you know better. Come on now.
Alright. I remember, yeah, I work 2 jobs just so I can live in a low-income house, not on the beach. About a mile in, I bike to work every day. I work 64 hours a week, just so I can live and pay $22.50 for shoebox. Those places, I do work there. If you were to take this building away from him, I would be out of a job. So would 2 other Venice lovers would be out of a job as well. So think about that. Don't just hate everything.
Do you work there?
I do. I work there and I work at a restaurant as well.
You need 2 jobs.
Margaret, this is not a conversation.
That's
Thank you.
your job to live here.
I need 2 jobs. So that's the reality of the fact of the matter. The other reality is,
Perpetuating.
the reality would be, if this building were to go, who is the person who's going to buy it?
Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want Snapchat to buy the building?
No, I want them out of here.
Okay, so that's the reality of the situation. That's a great time.
Why are you wasting our time? Just wrong with that.
All right, Catherine. Catherine Conway.
Catherine.
It's Catherine Conway.
Hi, my name is Catherine Conway, and I'm a resident for 25 years in Venice. And I do not agree with changing the use of this building, and mainly it's because of the rent and stabilized housing that is so much in need. So I can appreciate that it is nice to have a hotel other than shutters if someone wants to come and stay in Venice, but it certainly is not a priority when we have so many people in need of affordable housing. So to the committee here, I would say, when you are doing research, why don't you just open your eyes and see the people that are on the streets? You don't have to go back to the 1920s.
Kevin.
Please don't, Kevin Courtesy, 40-year Venice resident, please don't come up here and tell people they're uninformed or blind. I'm just going to read this. 417 Oceanfront Walk must be put back to affordable low-income apartments. With all Venetians illegally ousted from units subject to Mellow Act anywhere in Venice being first on the list, paying the rent they last paid at their former units. That's the law.
Barbara Lonsdale.
So first of all, the California Coastal Commission ruled that hotel use is inconsistent with long stretch of rent-controlled apartment use, which is what this building has been since 1966. We are running out of residential apartments. Why would they convert it into a hotel? And they have so many Airbnbs in Venice. We don't need another one. This is pretty much what it is. And any tax revenue that is generated from this hotel is going to go to the city of LA. I think would be more beneficial to residents, to local residents, to have it as low-income residential housing, or just, you know, as an apartment building. And what else was I going to say? Any Airbnb is illegal in a residential rent-controlled building, and it is happening all over Venice. All the canals are pretty much empty. That's a residential area. And why are they letting Airbnb happen there? It's illegal. It should be in a business district. You know, if I was a robber, I would go to the canals, and I hope that all gets out there because those tourists have money.
Steve Williams.
All right. First of all, this isn't really about, you know, this one hotel and whether, or apartment building. You know, it's not whether it should be a hotel. It's about a potential precedent being set right now that could have long-term dire consequences for this community. And this community is being already torn apart by greed and illegal development that the city has kind of let go. And we're working on that separate in a sense, but it is all tied together in the sense that this Chamber of Commerce, the DNC, land use, it's all kind of become one big machine to just sort of seemingly get rid of affordable housing and replace it with expensive short-term rentals. So we just keep all these tourists in here spending a lot of money at their businesses. So I'm just saying, because it's actually laughable to say, oh, he's a good man, oh, he gives to charity, oh, it's a cute apartment, you see the interiors are really cute and affordable. Who gives a shit? That's not what's on the line here. What's on the line is adhering to the law and the history of long-term use there that does not in any way set it up for short-term, and we need to stick to the designated.
My name is Sarah Mahir, and I've lived in Venice my entire life, born and raised. And I gotta say, everything that has been happening here is absolutely disgusting. My 5-year-old son understands what has been going on here is wrong. And you can't give enough money to the people in Venice to make up for what you've done and what you're trying to do to our community. We are a community, we're a family, all of us here. So you're gonna have to fight each and every last one of us here to get this hotel built, because that's not what's happening here. It's always been affordable, it's always been a melting pot, it's been a place for every single person from every nation to come and live here affordably.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And that's what you guys are here for. The eclectic mix of people, the diverse cultural environment that we have here, the artists, the street life. Every person here deserves to stay here. And I just don't think that this is right. And as far as, he was saying about hotels in Santa Monica, Venice is so small in comparison to Santa Monica. And there are hotels all over. We don't need it here, and we don't want it here.
That's right.
Carlos, come on.
Hey guys, my name is Carlos. I actually live in one of Carl Lambert's our hotels. I've been there for about 15 years. It was an apartment building up until about 3 years ago when he took over. I've seen it firsthand as a disaster. It's taken away my home. It sucks to live in a hotel. They're now out of the 32 apartment buildings that were long-term residents. There are only about 10 left. And they're kicking us out. Those are the people that live in the community, not the tourists that come. And if you want to make the apartments long-term, make them long-term. Yeah, they'll be expensive because they're beautiful and in front of the beach, but they'll still be long-term so that there'll be residents that actually live in Venice and take care of the community. Having tourists coming in and out of my apartment building, my home, it makes it less safe. It has destroyed my community. I'm really concerned about this. This is a change of use. You're changing it from residential to commercial. Think about it. Think about it if they did that to the neighborhood where you live. Think about it, Carl, if they did it to the one next door.
Nick, I don't know which one you want to speak on. This one? Nick, Anton Johnson is all right. Is there anybody I missed? I'll make a list of people I missed. Yeah, all right.
Can I say something? No. Matthew, can I say something? I didn't put in a speaker card.
I can get your chance. Go ahead.
I'm not going to stand in front of my camera.
Ilana.
I just want to say that I don't feel, I'm on the neighbourhood council, I actually don't feel that our committees or our land use committee or our council should be making decisions on buildings that are operating illegally, especially if it's in the hands of the city attorney already. But I still think we have an obligation to our community that we don't make decisions that are on things that are operating illegally. That is not our position and not our place.
We also have a petition of 99 signatures against the project. That's not true. All right, public comment is now closed. So I will maybe go down the line to if anybody wants to make a comment. Any comment? Do you want to start, Tim?
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to echo some of the points that Junior has made. On my little section of the Walk Street, where I have my little 350 square foot studio apartment that I live in, I work in this community. As a lot of you guys know, I'm an architect, and I do work a lot of construction. Where do you work? I'm an architect. I work here.
Excuse me.
Here. In Venice. I live here in Venice, and I've got a little 350 square foot apartment, and I can't afford to live in anything, and I can't afford to move anywhere, and I'm stuck here in the same position as a lot of you guys are in. And I hear a lot of your concerns, and I think the biggest thing that has affected rents most dramatically has been the proliferation of Airbnbs. And I think that, Judy, you can speak to this well, and I think we have on many times and many occasions. Just on my little section of the street, I have 4 buildings that are Airbnbs. Those units take in so much more rent now, acting as de facto hotels. And you want to talk about destruction of the neighborhood. I mean, I've been here now 17 years, okay? No.
Excuse me, Judy. Public comment is closed. Judy, you cannot speak right now.
Judy, you understand the process, okay? This is our turn, we listen to you guys, and you're going to give it to us back, okay? I didn't invite you, you can talk about it later with everybody else, okay? Just let
You're talking about the pioneer of the short-term rental process.
Guys, please, we listen to you guys. Okay,
Folks, you guys all had your chance. You guys all had a chance. This group listened to you courteously. Now it's their turn to talk.
We need to get our minutes.
It's their turn. It's their time to talk. If this meeting doesn't proceed peacefully, the chair has the right to remove people. So we don't want to do that. Please, listen to what they have to say. You don't have to agree with it. They have a right to talk.
Thanks. So what I'm saying is this. Our neighborhoods are being destroyed by Airbnb and by what's happening in houses next to people. Everywhere. It's happening everywhere. And if we want to combat that, okay, Airbnb's biggest market in the country is here in Venice. If we want to combat that, we need to make select locations in Venice hotels, and we need to make them at an affordable rate, an affordable room rate. And what I'm imploring to you, Carl, is like begging you here, is can we do some of the units at an affordable monthly rate? Can we start to take in some of, if this were to come in and be a hotel, can we do something where you start to accommodate some of the affordable units? I mean, you have several units in the building. Can some of them be affordable for, I mean, I know Hotel Coronado did something like this when they did their expansion. And I'm hoping that maybe, maybe another discussion, we can work a way to get something like that in here so we're giving back a little bit. And we start to really save not we gotta alleviate the stress of what the Airbnb has done to the community as a whole, and not to this one building in particular. And so I think for that reason, I would like to see this go ahead and be a hotel, and in fact, I'd like to see more larger buildings like that be the case. And
How about enforcing the Airbnb rules, those laws? Why do you enforce those?
Airbnb was people's homes and
just postpone the meeting.
Yeah, I think
Airbnb.
No, come on.
Okay, so if we can't proceed peacefully, he has two choices. He can clear the room, which he is allowed to do under the Brown Act. He can clear the room under the Brown Act.
He cannot clear the
Yes,
room
he
of
can.
people who have not done anything.
We're
talking to a lawyer, sir.
Okay.
No way.
All right, folks.
Try that.
Folks.
Ivan, you have no authority yourself. Why are you saying
You know the rules, Jeff.
Exactly.
You know the rules. Stop being a dick.
All right. The other thing he can do is he can just pass on this.
Pass.
You want to pass?
Yes.
Fine, then I'm going to tell you what will happen. If he passes, it won't go to the board.
Sure.
No, it won't. It won't go to the board unless they make a recommendation. It'll go straight to Mike Bonin. You can argue with him.
That's
So
fine.
if you want to do that, if that's where you want to go, all right.
I would rather do that.
We're asking that everybody just be respectful and let us get through the process. Okay? Let us go through the process. We listen to you. Please, guys, we listen to you. Okay, everybody quiet down. All right, well.
All right. So,
Hail.
Mary, do you want to say?
Well, I'm an architect, and I've been a resident here 30 years. I'm sympathetic with all the comments I've seen to change. But at the same time, like, there are certain changes that are compatible with Venice that should happen. I know the overall change of that has a lot to do with economic changes and social overall changes. So in this particular project, when it was here, I was the only one that voted yes on it, and I'm thinking, maybe it's a good place for hotel. I don't want anybody low-income housing to disappear, and I agree with you as far as having some local, affordable businesses in the hotel as well.
Definitely, you want me to address some things up front?
Yeah, sure. So I know Jay made a comment about the relative weight of petitions of there are so many numbers on one side versus so many numbers on another. For me personally, it's not a math sort of equation. I mean, to me, what's significant is there's people for and against, and I think a significant number. I did point out in the staff reports at the community meeting, everyone was against. So I did try to address that, and I think it was part of the record to Judy's question earlier. A fellow spoke last, Carlos. Are you a resident of this building?
No, I'm a resident of another building, the Waldorf Apartments.
Okay.
Carl is trying to convert, after this conversion, the next one is the Waldorf.
Okay, I got you. And when that comes up, I invite you to come.
Stop it now when you can.
You know, to the idea of a precedent being set, I get that that's a concern, and I see that, but this has happened before. This is not the groundbreaking, ice-breaking property that I think, I guess we agree to disagree on that. But I will say there have been other, I'm sorry, would you like to step out of the room?
We just want you to vote yes so we can go home.
Okay.
That's all we want to do.
Well, fine, we would actually not address
Like I said in my statement, there's no fact.
Excuse me, can you take a seat and stop talking? It's our time.
1 minute.
all right, well, with that, frankly, I was going to address some of your concerns, but clearly no one wants to hear it, so we can just move on.
Everybody is.
People talk about how this is a community, and all I hear is people screaming at each other and shouting.
I'll leave. We're not. We are a community, and you're obviously not.
We were our neighborhood, bro.
We're a family.
We don't listen to our neighborhood. We have to yell because the illegal shit that's happening on town.
Keep Venice original.
You sure as fuck don't listen to the law or the citizens.
President of the Chamber of Commerce with an illegal business. City attorney.
How do you get that?
Well, contrary to
Thank you guys,
anyway, what I was gonna say was, can I go now?
No, let's wait till the person.
No, please continue. So, I think the level of anger and discontent directed at the neighbors is not the productive way to go about this. I'm not, contrary to popular belief, a person getting rich off this high position of sitting on a volunteer board to hear housing development. I don't work in Silicon Beach. I'm a recent law grad who is, in six-figure debt, parking a shitty legal car.
Okay.
So, I don't think the assumptions going this way are just, I think, as sort of inappropriate as the feeling that you guys have. And I don't like that Airbnb is proliferated through this town, but I also know that the circumstances of Venice have changed in 100 years, which is not shocking. Most urban areas have. And if we're going to, coal miners don't like that solar energy is more popular than...
Dude!
Now we're like,
Get on with it.
The point is that you have to adapt to the changing circumstances that you live in. So, and I'm not saying I have the answer to this very complicated issue.
That's adjusted to the law.
But just, I mean, this is the point. We can't even have an opinion now if it differs. And I think that's a tragic state nationally and apparently locally as well. And so what is the point if we're just going to come here and yell at each other and no one's going to even let someone with a differing viewpoint express themselves? I mean, we're wasting each other's time then. So and I'm not trying to flip it necessarily, but coal miners believe that this is the best form of energy because it's all they know. And I don't think that that's necessarily a very long-term, good strategy to have. So that said, I think this is complicated, and I don't have the answer, nor do I, think we should just magically come up with a solution. But just something to think about is like maybe we should treat people a little kinder, especially these days. All right.
I have some message. No, I don't. So, does anyone else on the board have anything to say? No? I'm going to make a motion to approve the project as presented.
Second.
Take a roll call. Tim?
Yes.
Graham?
Yes.
Mary?
Stay.
Okay. I will abstain. Daphne?
Yes.
Mikhail? Well, I pretty much just said that I don't have the answer to this right now. I mean, I don't think that there's going to be an answer that makes anybody in this room happy. And I honestly don't think it's in our, I'll save the speech. I'm going with the balance of people who have showed up to this. I'm inclined to vote no, and it's simply just because it's not that I believe we do need a hotel because Airbnb has to All right, 0, go. Thank you, everybody, for trying to be respectful. Let's take a
So, just so everyone knows, the ENC meeting on this is likely June 20th, or whatever that Tuesday is.
3-1-2. 3 in favor. One against.
Oh, is this for the last meeting? Oh, shoot.
Yes.